Hola, buenos dias. Good morning, everybody. My name is Rachel Andres. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the Director of Lifelong Learning.
Buenos dias. Oh, I'll hold for the applause. My name is Christine Myers, she, her, and I serve gratefully as a member of the worship arts team. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church in Fresno, California.
Woo! Welcome to everyone on our online church campus. And please share this live stream with your friends or followers.
Welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Avenue campus.
And welcome to everyone attending at a time of your choice on Facebook or YouTube.
We are one congregation in many places. Somos una congregación en muchos lugares.
At the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, we welcome you no matter your race or culture of origin. We welcome you no matter your primary or secondary language. Each week, we remind each other that English is not the only language spoken in the United States. Here in Fresno County, over 1.2 million school-age students live in households that speak another language other than English.
We are welcome no matter our age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs.
Our neurodiversity is welcome here. We are welcome no matter our level of formal education or the amount of money we have. Our disabilities are also welcome here.
We welcome those of us who are lesbian, gay, bi, transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, queer, or intersex.
You are welcome with or without documentation. No one is illegal in this church.
All are welcome here. Todos son bienvenidos aquí.
We acknowledge that our Alluvial Ave Church campus sits within the traditional homelands of the Yokuts people, the original and continued caretakers of this land.
This land acknowledgement is to honor the elders of the indigenous peoples of this land and to recognize the genocide, forceful removal, and displacement of the peoples whose lands and territories were stolen from them.
If you are on our online campus and want your joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude included in today's service, just text it to us at 559-239-6543.
Now, Tim, you have an update for us.
I do. Buenos dias. Good morning, everybody. So I have an update on the men's restroom. Renovations started, including taking out the stalls to bring in the new stalls. But then, thanks to supply chain issues, the stalls have not arrived. So we basically have one big open room in the men's room, which we thought we would solve by just inviting people to lock the door behind them when one person went in. Until this morning, we found out the bathroom doesn't lock from inside. So, if the men's room is where you might need to visit at some point today, there will be somebody poised at the door, letting you know thumbs up, go in, and then they will guard you, or thumbs down, you gotta wait a moment. And there is also a restroom in the office. So if you just walk along the breezeway on this side, go into the office, you will see it. Thank you for your bathroom resilience and flexibility.
In a moment, we'll have our brief time of greeting. If you prefer your own private space, feel free to sit this out. So in person or on our Alluvial Avenue campus, or in the silence of our own hearts, as we feel comfortable, let's take a moment to say buenos dias to one another.
Buenos dias. Mi nombre es Timoteo. My name is Tim. My pronouns are he, him, and I serve as minister at this proudly progressive congregation where we put love at the center of all that we do. Let's allow the sound of the tingsha, an ancient sound, carry us to that quiet place within, a place that opens to wholeness, healing, and hope.
One, two, three, four.
River wide and river deep calls me to her side to protect and for her speak. Water, she says, it is time. Vast, vast oceans, bubbling creeks, all are friends of mine. From valley floor to mountain peaks, water, she says, it is time. So lay down your weapons, I come in peace to be a stand for life. For all things thrive where water is clean. Water, she says, it is time. For all things thrive where water is clean. Water, she says, it is time. So lay down your weapons, I come in peace to be a stand for life. For all things thrive where water is clean. Water, she says, it is time. For all things thrive where water is clean. Water, she says, it is time.
Me llamo Lori, ella, y yo soy un miembro de equipo de artes de adoración. My name is Lori, she, her, and I'm a member of the worship arts team. And you've already met Rachel Andres, our director of lifelong learning. Ella es la directora de aprendizaje permanente. Those on our virtual campus, we're getting ready to light our chalice, so if you want to do the same, please grab a candle or chalice and matches and be ready to go. Our chalice lighting words were written by Maureen Killoran and edited by me. In this free church, we come together without creed and with a broad spectrum of spiritual belief, focusing instead on the core values of justice, equity, and compassion, of mutual acceptance of our diverse ways of being as we seek to connect ourselves more fully with the unfolding truths of life and of our world.
We come together in shared conviction that all people deserve a voice, in matters that concern them, and that it is made up to each of us to protect the rights of all, particularly those who, for whatever reason, have long been held in silence.
We come together in the stubborn belief that community is possible and that peace is more than a dream.
We commit together to affirm in our actions, as well as our words, the inherent worthiness and dignity of every human being.
We come together in awareness of our interdependence with all humanity and with the wider web of existence, for that too is part of what it is meant by we.
In this free church, we come together without creed and with a broad spectrum of spiritual belief, believing that the way we live in the world bears testament to our values, to the value of our beliefs.
We light this chalice as a beacon of hope for those who have gathered here this day, for all who have ever walked through our doors, for those who may yet find this spiritual home, and for those whose paths will never come our way.
For all this, and for all those things we dare to hope and dream, and in celebration of who we are, we kindle our chalice flame this day. Kim, will you light our chalice in the sanctuary as those online at home light theirs?
Now please stand, embody your spirit, and join in our song of praise. One of my favorites, We Shall Be Known.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time now.
Ourselves into the well.
It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time now, it is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
I invite us to remain standing as we say together the words of our mission. La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Please be seated. We are aware that the seeds of hope, the seeds of change, are alive and growing within our young ones. And so let us bless them in song as they head off to their spirit explorations. As you go, let's sing.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life, we hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life, we hold you in our love as you go.
As Unitarian Universalists, we find wisdom from many sources. I'm reminded that Vietnamese Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh says this of the power of our breath. Feelings come and go like clouds in the windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. So in that spirit, I invite us to take in a breath together, imagining we're breathing in peace and breathing out love. Again, we together breathe in peace and breathe out love. One last time together, imagine we're breathing in peace, pause into every cell in our body, and we release that peace, transforming it to love that we breathe out to our beautiful and broken world. As we continue breathing together here in this space made sacred by our humanity, I invite us to use your imagination. Let's imagine we can breathe back through the last week, the last 7 days of living, a gift that some did not receive. And 2 questions. In the last week, what sign of spring captured your attention? And knowing we have a new week ahead, in the last, what word, image, or phrase do you want to carry with you into your new week? Setting spiritual intention is one powerful spiritual practice, as is just connecting to the breath. Each week we create space to breathe together, to be together, to be, as I said earlier, beautiful together and broken together. We create space for some of us to share whatever joys, sorrows, concerns, or gratitudes we brought with us in our hearts, filling our minds. Some of us stopped at the small table at the entranceway to the church. Others of us texted from our extended online campus. This is just a little bit of what is alive among us. Andrew Livingstone says, "It's so nice to come back to my spiritual home and see all of my friends after a small gap." Andrew, it's great having you back. Good to see you after your surgery. Blessings and love to you, Andrew. And Laura Radonov is wishing her mom, Paula, a very happy birthday tomorrow and many, many more. And Kim lifts up her unsuspecting and sitting next to her friend Alicia Mancines, who donated her 47th pint of blood, effectively saving up up to 141 lives. Kim says she inspires me and is truly giving back to the interconnected web we live in. Love, love, love you. A side note, that's 6 gallons of blood. Woo. We also remember our beloveds, those unable to be with us because of health or mobility. And first, we want to lift up Paula Ferris, who took a very serious fall last week. She was hospitalized. She's now very nearby the church in skilled nursing rehab. She sends her love. She invites visits. So if you'd like to visit her, just talk to me after the service. I can tell you where she is. But please do keep Paula Ferris in your thoughts and prayers because she has a long journey of healing ahead of her. We remember Mike R. We remember Dominic P., Myrna S., Glenda R., Pat M., and Robin C. We continue our celebration this month of Black History Month, and we specifically lift up and celebrate the life of Unitarian Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, who lived from 1852 to 1911. In addition to being a proud Unitarian, Frances Ellen Watkins Harper was an abolitionist, an activist, a great teacher, a reporter, a novelist, and a poet. She is one of the first published Black women authors in America. Her 1866 speech at the National Women's Rights Association convention in New York City led to the formation of the American Equal Rights Association, which strived to include Black women's suffrage in the larger women's suffrage movement that was dominated by white women. And we celebrate the enduring legacy of Unitarian Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. We also celebrate and acknowledge that this Tuesday, the 17th of February, begins the celebration of the Chinese Lunar New Year. And the 2026 is, as you can probably see by the horse in the middle of that logo, it is the year of the horse. And the horse is said to symbolize forward movement, trusting yourself to act. It also symbolizes freedom and momentum. And so we're invited to live into the energies of the Chinese Lunar New Year, the year of the horse. And I just want to stop for a moment to really acknowledge and celebrate the humanness of the Winter Olympics. It seems this year that there just is a bit more heartbreak in some of the stories that we're seeing unfold in these winter weeks. And so we lift up these young people, their incredible dedication, the skill of their physicality, and also hold them when disappointment and brokenness occur. And so, holding all of this in our hearts and also remembering all those who on this day have no one to remember them, no one to speak their name with gentleness or love, we light our candle of community by our remembering. May we and they be blessed. As is our custom, we also pause to light our second candle, a candle of compassion, resistance, and hope as we watch so much being dismantled and destroyed by the attack created by our toxic, illegal federal government. And so as our candles burn, we sing together our call to meditation, I love that the melody comes from Unitarians in Czechoslovakia, but the lyrics are so infused with Taoist wisdom from China, finding a stillness, holding a stillness, allowing that stillness to carry us. So let's sing. Find a stillness, busco calma.
Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
Busco calma, una calma que me venga a envolver, un silencio tras silencio que me venga a envolver en el alma y por el alma que me inspire muy adentro la armonía alcanzaré.
Seek the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let the flower help me flower, watch the flower carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony.
Will you join with me in the spirit of reflection and prayer? Let us pray. These words come to us from the precious heart of Joan Javier Duval, adapted. Holy mystery, silent presence, uncertain bearer of the weight of it all. In these quiet moments, we listen. We listen for the maybe still breathing, perhaps still whispering, faintest sign of the universal good. We listen between the cacophony of distractions. We listen amidst the cries of desperation, of we've had enough, of How much more will the waters rise? Of how much longer can I hang on? We listen and we wait through the tumult of these days. We seek assurance. We seek the fulfillment of a promise made to ourselves, a promise made to those we have been stretched to call neighbor. A promise written and enshrined and yet unfulfilled. Help us, abiding mystery, to hang on, to hold on when all is in question, when all is in doubt. Help us to stay firm to our own commitments and our own promises. Lead us back into connection, back into the bonds of humanity that help us to know each other as beloved. May we continue listening. May we keep watch. May we beckon love and justice and mercy with our own whispers, with our shouts, with our cries, until all know themselves as part of the circle of love. Que así sea, bendito sea. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Gift, Lorenzo. So, Reverend Tim asked me what word I use for that which is transcendent, sacred, holy. And I knew that word immediately. I just turned 15 and was invited to a camp in a remote area in Northern California. We were at a big gathering that night, and I just needed to get out. And so I grabbed a flashlight because it was very dark there and walked out until I found a clearing. And once I'd gotten my stand secure, I turned off the light. And as I looked around, my eyes saw this forest surrounding me, and my eyes raised to the very tops of these grand conifers. And then this dark black velvet sky bedazzled with sparkling gems. And I had never experienced anything like that in my life. I was overwhelmed and filled with awe. So when I returned to the cabin and shared this with my friends there, they told me that this is God's presence. It was a Christian camp. This was the Christian God, the creator, the redeemer, the ruler, the planner. And I went from here to something that was explainable. It was comforting, a closed system, a personal God that would guide my quite wayward self. It was a great beginning to my spiritual journey. I went on to college and beyond. I continued to follow, but with many questions. Somehow this God felt narrow, limited, and selective. It didn't quite fit with that experience of the forest. I was exposed to other religions and philosophies and spiritual practices and science. I collected life experiences in different lands and different cultures with different people. It was evident that there were different lenses influencing what we sought, but we shared our awareness of something greater and our need to define it and know it. For me, I had to let go of narrow definitions and assumptions that confined and embrace that the more I learned, the less I found I knew, that the universe held secrets beyond my understanding, and then tap into the energy of the infinite cosmos that we all share, even though we are a teeny tiny minuscule of a speck on the map. The visual splendor and harmony of the night sky continues to teach and inspire me, but the remarkable Webb telescope provides glorious illustrations of the maybe 200 billion or more galaxies beyond my naked eye. And there is my word for that which is transcendent, holy, sacred, mystery, great mystery.
I invite us to rise in body or spirit. We'll be singing For the Beauty of the Earth, a traditional melody and some Unitarian words tucked in there as well.
For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from our birth over and around us lies. Source of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. The joy of ear and eye, for the heart and mind's delight, for the mystic harmony, linking sense to sound and sight. Source of all, to thee we raise this, our hymn of grateful praise. For the wonder of each hour, of the day and of the night, hill and vale and tree and flower, sun and moon and stars of light, source of all, to thee we raise this, our hymn of grateful praise.
So I want to tell you, there we go. I want to tell you a little bit about the genesis, the source of today's sermon, and why I'm sharing such a personal sermon. So after the Martin Luther King service in January, two absolutely wonderful newer members of the church asked me a question. And now the service had talked about the deep personal relationship that Martin Luther King had with his Christian faith, his deep Christian faith, and his deep connection to Jesus, and by extension, to God. Also talked about how the song, Precious Lord, Take My Hand, was such a spiritual sustainer for Dr. Martin Luther King. And this wonderful couple asked me the question, does God talk to you? Now, it's been a long time, actually, since somebody asked me a question like that. So, first of all, the sermon, though, is not just about me. It's an opportunity and an invitation for each one of us to reflect on what we personally believe. And it's a chance for us all to think about how each of us connect to that which is greater than us, as Laurie said, transcendent, perhaps holy. How do we hear the stirrings of what some of us call spirit, some of us call intuition or inner knowing, some of us call the greater strength of humanity, and some of us call the voice of God? It's also an opportunity to reflect on one of the most liberating and challenging aspects of our Unitarian Universalist faith. We don't have a creed. We don't have a set of beliefs that we have to accept to be part of this church community. We don't have a set of beliefs that somebody else in the past decided was true. We say that Unitarian Universalism is a free faith, which means that we're free to define our own spiritual beliefs. We're free to determine what beliefs are authentic to us so that we can have a personally authentic spiritual life that might be very different from the authentic personal spiritual life of the person sitting next to you. Unitarian Universalism champions a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. That doesn't mean that we don't have things in common. We have clear religious values that unite us, and love is at the center. That's why we can quote that great Unitarian martyr Francis David, who died in 1579 in a Transylvanian prison cell because of his profound commitment to creating and sustaining a faith tradition in which, as Francis David said, we need not think alike to love alike. I like that. Could you say that with me? We need not think alike to love alike. Or we can say just as easily, in Unitarian Universalism, we need not believe alike to love alike. Which means that you and I may have very different spiritual beliefs, very different spiritual practices, but we are each committed to our shared religious values that absolutely, clearly put love at the center. So when I talk about my own spiritual beliefs, how I find God or define higher power or experience the transcendent, the holy, at the core of it, for me personally, is a contradiction. There is a contradiction that has written all over my heart and mind. It took a lot of years and a lot of spiritual blood, sweat, and tears to be at peace with the contradiction that infuses and informs my personal spiritual belief. And that contradiction is, my head is a humanist and my heart is a mystic. So let me explain. My head is a humanist. When I think, I know that I like to be grounded in a rational, reason way of thinking. I want to be anchored in the here and now, in the absolutely, clearly, scientifically explainable. I want to be able to see things clearly with my own eyes. I want things to be discerned with my own mind, and there's no place really for mystery, because in the end, all things that happen can be explained by the laws of science. And if they haven't yet been explained, at some point in the future, they will be. My head is a humanist, but my heart is such a mystic. Because my heart knows that although that's true, that humanism is true, there's also something else that is undefinable, that is other, that is transcendent, that is beyond my rational mind. I can't define it or explain it, but I've had enough experiences of mystery, perhaps, to know that that also is true. Yes, there's the physical world, but there's also the spiritual world, and in reality, they aren't two different worlds. They are one world in constant, continual communication with itself. My heart is a mystic. Poet David White captures beautifully the yearning of the mystic when he writes these words: all my body calls for something in this sleeping earth we call the spirit. But how from lifted arms where stars run through fingers and the night is like sand, how do I breathe a fragrance of its wisdom? Do I call its name or listen to the drops that trickle down to earth, and hear life being given. Not only through the moving hands of the forest, but through the hand that reaches in the dark, unmoving regions of the chest and uncovers slowly the enormous, indistinct shape of the ocean. And I'm going to say those words again because he packs a whole lot into it, and because these words hold so much and say so much and invite so much and invoke so much and intuit so much. Again, the words of David White, all my body calls for something in this sleeping earth we call spirit. But how? From lifted arms where stars run through fingers and the night is like sand, how do I breathe a fragrance of its wisdom? Do I call its name? Or listen to the drops that trickle down to earth and hear life being given? Not only through the moving hands of the forest, but through the hand that reaches in the dark, unmoving regions of the chest and uncovers slowly the enormous, indistinct shape of the ocean. Now, there's one place that I most strongly feel this mystical connection, this mystical yearning, this mystical calling to that which is greater, to that which is the source of all, the great mystery, the universe, the silent presence, the uncertain bearer of the weight of it all, of what some of us call God, that which is ultimately able to be felt but not named. And that place of my connection, my greatest connection, my strongest connection, is also one of the most powerful contradictions, again, of my life. Now, anybody who knows me knows I like sunny weather. I like the sun. I like warm. I like heat. I like daytime. That's one reason I'm in Fresno. The sun, the warmth, the heat, a lot of daytime. I'm not a fan of cloudy days or the cold. I'm not a fan of nighttime. I'm not a champion of that season we call winter. I'm not a champion of the winter, of the ice and snow and wind chills below zero in the Midwest where I grew up, and in New England where I lived most of my adult life. And I am no fan of the gray, cool, wet, and once again foggy winters that haunt Fresno. No offense to those who I see love the cool, the gray, the wet, and the once again foggy winters that haunt Fresno. And yet, the contradiction, the place I feel most connected to that which is greater than me, the place I hear most clearly the voice and stirrings of the Spirit, is exactly what I like the least, what I wish I could avoid. Because for me, the place where I feel Spirit, where I hear Spirit, is outside, at night, in the dark, under the cold and stark winter sky. There's just something about that clean crispness of a winter night. Those trees. But unlike the trees, Laurie, that you described, it's the trees without the leaves, So their bare limbs like skeletons, unfleshed arms and hands reaching up towards the transcendent, where stars run through their fingers. I love the starkness, the smallness that I feel under that dark night sky. I like that feeling of exposure, of being exposed and laid bare in the moonlight. Because there, under that expanse of the black, endless sky, I feel connected to the unknowable, as Laurie said, the infinite, and yet I also feel utterly visible and connected to what is attainable. Nighttime for me outside in winter feels pure, pristine, and primal. It's as if the cold awakens me, it invigorates me, freshens me, quickens me. In the cold winter night, it's easier to feel your breath come in and out. You can see your breath come in and out in the freezing cold air. And there in that beautiful black darkness, there are no distractions. The cold night makes my senses alert. It awakes me. It makes me receptive, open to the energy of all the layers of the night and the hidden beauty of it all, the mystery of it all, the sheer awesomeness of it all, of which I am a part. In the black winter nothingness, it lets me feel that interdependent web of all creation, and I feel just, not just its vastness, but how I am woven into it. In fact, when I used to live in New England in the winter, when it was a really big, heavy snowstorm, I would go out at night into my backyard and just lie down in the snow, look up at the sky, the trees peripherally around me, and I could feel that energy of the earth itself just seep into me. I could feel the energy from the sky just seep down to me. It made me think of that song we sometimes sing, that great Unitarian hymn that says, "Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all." I think of Taoist spiritual teacher Deng Ming Dao, who writes, "By moonlight, we see black and white. We cannot see colors. There's something," he says, "fascinating and valuable about seeing the world that way. We see only what is essential. We see form emerging from a sea of blackness. We can look at the world so familiar by daylight and see it anew in the black and white moonlight. The day warms, the night cools. Stand in the middle of the night woods and watch the shadows." I think two of those famous words by Unitarian philosopher and mystic Ralph Waldo Emerson. Emerson wrote, "In the woods, a person casts off their years. In the woods, we return to reason and faith. There I feel that nothing can befall me in life, no disgrace, no calamity which nature cannot repair. Standing," Emerson writes, "on the bare ground, my head bathed by the blithe air and uplifted into infinite space, all mean egotism vanishes. I become a transparent eyeball. I am nothing. I see all. The currents of the universal being circulate through me. I am part or particle of God." So let's return to the original question that spurred this sermon, and Ian, jumping ahead just a bit. Does God, does that which is greater than myself speak to me? No. Absolutely not. Not in the language of a human being. But it does in the language of spirit, in the language of night and nature, in the language of starkness, in the language of being stripped bare, in the language of the cold, the primal, and the seeing something anew. My dear ones, that which is greater than us can speak to us in many languages, can speak to us through many forms and manifestations. For some of us, it is mystical, magical, transcendent mystery, and for others, it is fully human, concrete, and centered solely within oneself. That which is greater than us can speak to us and through us in many different beliefs. Beliefs as varied as there are minds to think and hearts to hold them. In the end, that which is greater than us can speak to us through the language of love. For as we Unitarian Universalists know, we need not think alike to love alike. We need not believe alike to love alike. May it be so. Que así sea, bendito sea, blessed be. Amen.
Let the mountains talk, let the river run. There's a wisdom here, there is much to learn. There's so much to know, much to understand. In this healing time, all across the land. You have heard my songs for so many years. You have laughed with me, washed away my tears. You have shared my joy, felt my pain. In this healing time, walk with me again. On this narrow line, help me find my way, help me see the signs. Not afraid, I am not alone. You have taught me well, you have brought me home. Let the mountains speak, let the rivers run, as the world awakes to the rising sun. In each brand new day, in our own rebirth, in this healing time, on our Mother Earth. Let the mountains talk, let the rivers run. There is wisdom here, there's so much much to learn in each brand new day, in our own rebirth, in this healing time for our Mother Earth. In each brand new day, let the rivers run. There is wisdom here. There's so much to learn in each brand new day, in our own rebirth, in this healing time for our Mother Earth.
As many of us know, none of this can happen without our generosity and our sharing. For some of us, that is the making of a special donation this morning that allows us to keep the lights on, to keep the live stream streaming. For others of us, it's a gift of time, volunteering to greet at the door or help clean up in the kitchen after potluck. For others of us, it is truly the gift of our presence, just being here today, perhaps in the smile that you offer to someone you don't know, or the silent prayer or affirmation you offer to someone next to you who seems visibly moved and distressed. In that spirit, I invite us to join in our congregational response. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? Si no con corazones abiertos, entonces ¿qué? Si no es ahora, entonces ¿cuándo? Si no es aquí, entonces ¿dónde? Si no damos generosamente, entonces ¿cómo? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? The morning offering for the ongoing ministry of this proudly progressive congregation will be gratefully received. If this is your first or second time, please, with us, just let the plate pass you by. Your presence is truly your gift to us this morning.
We leave this free church with the commitment to take on the challenge of our call, to implement our core values of justice, equity, compassion, and acceptance of our diverse ways of being, to protect the rights of all, to affirm in our actions and words the inherent worthiness and dignity of every human being, knowing that the way we live in the world bears testament to the value of our beliefs. Once this chalice is extinguished, carry its light with you, daring to hope and dream and act. Please join in our chalice extinguishing words. Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
So I have more than a few reminders for you today, as well as the kickoff of our online auction. So Cecily Callahan is our coordinator of community life. She's the person that helps get newish folks connected, and this is her second Sunday in a row on vacation, so she'll be back next week, but I'm glad that she was able to have a good chunk of time to renew, and I want to thank Patty Bennett for stepping into the role for those 2 weeks. Today at the end of the service will be our sandwich and salad potluck in our sun-dappled courtyard. There are sandwiches and salads for everyone. Don't worry, if you didn't bring anything with you, we brought something for you to share. So please do join us for salad and sandwich potluck, especially those who are new or newish. And I do want to say we are a little short on folks willing and able to clean up in the kitchen, and it's causing a little bit of compromise. I think we're going to end up using paper products today because we didn't have enough people who said they were able to wash dishes. So if you can help out in the kitchen, clean up, we would really, really appreciate it. Also outside, if you're new, there will be a table with a turquoise tablecloth, visitor's table sign on it. There will be a member of our Board of Trustees there, and you can just get your food, go sit down, and there'll be a ready conversationalist partner waiting for you. I also want to let you know that if you happen to have any spare change or a dollar bill in your pocket or pocketbook, our social justice team will be collecting money in a glass jar. This will be used to buy food for area food pantries. As we know, that food is scarce for so many and so expensive for so many, and the food banks are being tapped as they have never before. Also happening after the service today, you can get your food, and then our UU Fresno BIPOC group will be meeting in the youth room, which is in the office. If you don't know where that is, just ask somebody and they will direct you to it. Also, we have conversation, I believe, today, continuing one day. Everyone will have always been against this, a discussion of Gaza, and that will be taking place in the foyer entranceway to the church. Next Sunday, it's important to remember, it will be Bring a Friend Sunday, so bring a friend with you, and it's an all-ages service entitled Night Cries, the Spiritual Power of Owls. So I hope that you will be with us for that exploration. And then after the service, next week, Laurie, you have something important to say.
Yes, I have switched hats. Also on Sunday, after this Bring a Friend.
Next slide.
Oh, there we go. It's the birthday of our Declaration of Independence, and from what I've observed, our current administration has not read it. So come ready to read this and share our own grievances and personal stories as they relate to this very important part of our democracy. There will be food provided.
Thank you, Laurie. And now, the moment, at least I've been waiting for, and Shelley and Valerie have been waiting for. Our next slide lets us know that in just moments, with a little help from my friends, online auction will kick off. Next slide. In order to participate, we need to register. As of this morning, only 40 people had registered. So you want to go to UUCF, which is Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, auction 2026.fundraiser.bid. Go to that. You'll be able to register, and then you'll be able to bid. If you're totally confused about what that means, just email auction@uufresno.org, and a live person will be in touch with you to walk you through the registration process. Remember, this is the biggest fundraiser of the year for this congregation. So as we are able, we need as many people as possible to join us and bid often. And now we are going to do the countdown to going live online. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The auction is live. Let the bidding begin. Woo. Last but not least, we have our little custom. We like to invite folks who are with us for the first, second, or third time. We don't do it to embarrass you. We're genuinely glad you took the morning to be with us. And do know you don't have to stand up if it doesn't feel like you want to, and that's okay. We love you anyways. So if this is your first, second, or third time, could you please rise for just a moment? Welcome, 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 welcome. I invite the rest of the congregation, welcome, to rise with them for our closing words and then our sung benediction. Our closing words are these. Go now in peace. May you leave this place knowing you are loved and knowing you are good. Take your love from this place. Share it with the world. Stay safe until we meet again. And may the longtime sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And that pure light within you guide your way on. Blessed be. Amen. Let's sing.
Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. In love, go in peace.
Shalom and assalamu alaikum.